Now, geography paper 2 analysis, the paper was extremely simple. The questions were directly from the syllabus and from the video course that we have covered. So, when it comes to applied psychology, application in the field of rehabilitation of AIDS victim, in the field of gender equality, in the field of defense selection, how to train children with disability, what are the important steps that you can take in the field of career counseling, how group decision making is important and helps in bringing social change, what is the benefit of having community psychology specifically for those dealing with mental health problems, and how psychological tests could be made reliable by different methods of testing. Besides that, what are the tests for personality? So the projective test, the subjective test, all those, the various tests that we have, you can explain those. How power in the organization is concentrated in the hand of few, and the psychology behind the same. What are the strategies to motivate disadvantaged group children? There was another question from disability. So be very, very careful. Disability, mental health, disadvantaged groups are different elements. Don't get confused while you are writing answers. What are the types of anxiety? Again, a very direct question. In terms of therapy, there was a simple question based on the difference between the psychoanalytical therapy and the cognitive therapy. Then, what are the factors that actually affect your work motivation? So here you can explain through various theories. It could be the Taylor's theory, it could be Maslow's theory, Herzberg's theory, or attribution theory. You can explain how work motivation is actually derived and what are the various factors underlying it. The various factors. So there were two questions on disorder. One was on anxiety disorder, the other was on mood disorder. So if you have covered your disorders and therapies carefully, you can have actually good scoring here. And then entrepreneurship, what are the characteristics of an entrepreneurial behavior, what is the psychology behind advertisement? So sublingual advertisement plays an important role. The interventions to improve the performance in hockey. Now this could be any other sports which could be asked and relevant to the sports, whether it is a land sport, a water sport, or a outdoor sport, indoor sport. You would have to have a manipulation in the psychological interventions which would be required. Another question on gender equality, gender biasness, and self-fulfilling prophecy, which we have covered in our classes in detail. Now also a very good question on online learning, specifically in the post-pandemic period, and this is one of the topics that we have covered exclusively in the lectures, where we have talked about the benefits and the harms of online learning. This was a panel discussion which was conducted on the channel. Then we also need to understand how do we identify students who are mentally challenged, how do they need an early identification, and what are the ways through which they can be actually treated. What is the impact that electronic media or gadgets have on adolescent behavior, specifically when we are moving towards an era of digital learning and there has been a high pace of digitalization. How this electronic media actually impacts the behavior of an adolescent, and what are the various forms of social conflicts and resolutions that must be taken. So those were some of the questions. As I mentioned, the questions were very, very direct, but if you have been going through your NCPI articles or any other research papers, you would be able to substantiate your answers with certain case studies which would actually have a better impact in your answer. And the key points that we have, either you can refer the postal material or the video lecture course through which we have explained all these points in a much more systematic and a comprehensive manner. If you have any further questions, feel free to raise those. Wish you very good luck. Do follow the links below for more information. Have a wonderful day ahead.